there's four friends: Alonso, Aaron, Jose, and Eric. And Jose tried to convince us all to go play hide and go seek in the woods, but Aaron was in the start. He was second guessing. He's like, "No, it's the night." But Alonso and Eric said, "Yeah, let's go." So we went, and we were playing hide and go seek. And at the time that we ran in the woods, I ran in like 3 miles, and I found a cabin. And I said, "Oh, it must be abandoned, so I must go in there." Like, yeah, like, let me just go hide in there. And I was in there for a good hour or two, and I saw my friend coming. So I hid under the bed, and I saw the light leaving. And I looked out the window. My friend was leaving, but there was someone in there. And when the guy, he cocked his gun back, you could hear it. And he's like, "I know you're in here." And I hid under the bed. And I saw him walk in the room when I was under the bed. He searched everywhere, but he couldn't find me. And when he left, he went downstairs. I jumped out the window. And when I jumped out the window, he said, "You can run, but you can't hide." And he started following me for at least 2 miles. And two of my friends, we still couldn't find them, Alonso and Eric. And Jose's like, "Why are you running? We're supposed to play tag." And I said, "Look behind me." And once he looked behind me, he said it was a guy in a mask, and he was wearing a blue jumpsuit. And I'm like, "Oh, what if someone's playing a prank on us, trying to act like Michael Myers?" But the guy had a knife and a gun. And we ran home, and we called Alonso and Eric, and no response. And we ended up going back to the cabin, and they were both tied up. And we still to this day, we still think it was Michael Myers coming back, because we jumped him between all four of us, and we shot him with the gun he had in the shoulder. And he still started yelling, and he still ran like a mile with us. And once we ran home, we were scared. And the thing is, we told our parents everything, and they searched a search team, but they couldn't find him. And then later on, we had gone on our dirt bikes out to go just riding, and we went across these tunnels. So we went inside these tunnels, and he was in there like if he was waiting for us. And we stepped on it, and it was multiple occasions that we still saw him until Halloween ended. Thank you.
Okay, so now it's time for my story. My story. Okay, ready?
Turn my mic off.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. One day, there's a kid named Isaac. He would wander around with his friends Isabel and Sean, and they decided to go in the woods. But they brought resources like flashlights, phones, and crowbars. So they walk into the woods and they find an abandoned hospital. And Isaac wants to go in, but Sean doesn't. And Isabel wasn't sure, but got convinced by Isaac, then wanted to go in. They barely convinced Sean to go in. But so Isaac's, like the brave guy Isaac is, he starts walking up to the entrance. But Sean plays a little trick on him and taps his shoulder and says, "Boo!" And Isaac falls to the ground. He said, "Okay, that wasn't cool, man. We gotta go." So, so he grabs a crowbar from Isabel, just in case, you know. So they walk in, and as soon as they got in, they heard a noise from one of the hospital rooms. They heard a noise from the rooms. So what they do is they go, and he goes like cautiously, like sneaking, and they like run in there, and all they see, it was just a curtain, like the wind blowing the curtain. So they go back out. They think they're safe until they see a guy, an old guy with only one eye. blocking the entrance, and with a gun and a knife. He knocked the kids out, and they sooner or later, like 5 hours later, they wake up under the hospital, and they're all tied up. And the old guy sees them wake up, hears them wake up, but he pretends that he doesn't, so they could try to escape. But what he does whenever they do start trying to escape, he hears a noise, and he goes and cuts them up and eats them. He goes and boils them, put seasoning on them, and eats them. That's my story. So.
Alright, start recording.